Alright, today we're going to be talking about morphs in crested geckos. And just to start off the bat, to clarify, when I'm talking about morphs, I'm not talking about Dalmatian or Pinstripe or Flame or Harlequin or Tiger, any of those. Those are technically polygenic traits, and what that means is someone got a gecko that had a spot on it, and they bred that to like produce babies with a couple more spots on it, and they bred that, and it's called line breeding, where they take the best of the best and they breed it back into each other, and they go for the animal with the most of that pattern. That's not a true morph. Morph refers to polygenic mutation. Would it be polygenic? I don't know 100%. It would be a technical mutation in the DNA. That's a morph. Everything else is a polygenic trait. It's line bred. You see it in all things. You see it in corn snakes. You see it in leopard geckos. You see it, I'm sure, in ball pythons. I have no idea, honestly. But morphs, we're going to be focusing on lily white and xanthic. Lily white, I actually have a baby. Lily white is co-dominant. It's been proven out at this point. And xanthic is recessive. So let's talk about lily white xanthics. Well, hold on. Lily white adds the secondary color. It makes it white. It makes that cream. The dorsal stripe and the side pattern makes it really white. And what xanthic does, it takes the base color and it mutes it to a black. So those two together, at this point no one's done it, but those two together theoretically will be really white and really black and really vibrant. And the contrast is just going to be amazing. There are people with lily white head xanthics, which a lily white head xanthic bred to an xanthic will produce, in theory, 25% lily white xanthic, 25 half xanthic, and then also half lily white. So 25% lily white xanthic, 25% xanthic, 25% lily white head xanthic, and then 25% head xanthic, which would be the last thing you would want out of that pairing. But potentially 1 in 4 is a lily white xanthic. And then once you have the lily white xanthic, once you have that visual, that double visual, you breed that to another xanthic, and 50% lily white xanthics, 50% xanthics. So that's a win-win. It just takes like 2 or 3 years. Crested geckos grow up really fast. Now the reason you don't breed a lily white xanthic to a lily white xanthic is because the lily white's the superform. Same reason you don't breed a lily white to a lily white is because the superform is deadly. So if you bred a lily white to a lily white, actually I have it on my whiteboard. Lily white, no heads, half 50% lily whites, 50% or 25% nothing, and 25% nothing, 25% super lily white, which is a all deadly combination. No babies survive. In certain morphs like this, the babies last a couple days, maybe a week, but eventually die really, really fast. So an xanthic times an xanthic will give you 100% xanthics. Smudge my whiteboard. Now if you bred a lily white to an xanthic, half come out lily white half xanthic, half come out normal head xanthic. And if you took a lily white to a head xanthic, which would make more sense because right now I've seen an xanthic on fauna classifieds for 4,500, and it was like a new line. It wasn't even like a proven line, so they just hatched a gecko, said it was xanthic, and it was just some guy too. It wasn't even a breeder. I wouldn't trust that, honestly. So I would buy probably the pos head xanthics you can find on Morph Market. They're like 66 and 50% pos heads. But say you have a male lily white and you have a bunch of pos heads. If one of those proves out to be head xanthic, this is what it'll end up being. You'll get 25% lily white, 25% lily white head xanthic, 25% normal, and 25% head xanthic. Now the lily white normal and the lily white head xanthic, you can't tell them apart. So what you would want to do is hold back all your babies, raise them up with the head xanthic, and hopefully at that point pair it to a visual, because if you put it back to this one, you don't know if the original parent was, and you don't know if the heads are, and that's where it gets really messy. It's hard to play around with heads, and it ends up taking a while, and you're playing a risky game. If you can avoid heads in any way, if you can go a different route and make more money doing something else, and play safe than sorry with your money. But also with the normal and the normal head xanthics. Even if you know this animal is head xanthic, you can't tell them apart. So even if you know that's head xanthic, you can't tell them apart. What I would do is I would probably ask someone for a breeding loan at that point. If I was here, I would ask someone for a breeding loan, because at that point, what you're asking, if you had a 50% here, that's a 25% head xanthic. That's getting a slim chance there. You're really pushing it, and then you have to raise that up and breed it back, and the odds that you're gonna prove it out or even know if you're gonna prove it out is really, really difficult, and you're not gonna prove it out. Eventually, it's gonna end up biting you in the butt, and you're gonna bite the bullet on that one. So I wouldn't play around with that. If you want to make really expensive geckos, just buy more lily whites or buy like super Dalmatians. And when xanthics come down a little bit in price, and you sold some when xanthics come down in price and you sold some lily white babies, some Dalmatian, maybe you added Dalmatian to lily white, some of those for a couple $100, and then when xanthics come down, buy a visual and breed it back and add that to your collection, because you already have all that other stuff. So right now in time, it is July 16th, 2019. These are the only two morphs in crested geckos, and I'd love to see some more. Crested geckos are one of the highest bred, one of the most pet quality animals we have in the hobby today, and there's only two morphs that we know of. Nothing else that we know of is a technical morph. It's all polygenic except for lily white and xanthic. Right here is my lily white. I was gonna throw pictures of it along with some xanthics in the video, but I really couldn't figure out how to do that. I'm not a technical kind of person. So here's my lily white. I got it from Tiki's Geckos maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe a month, and it's doing great. It's shat out a couple times, and I can't wait to see it grow up, and hopefully it ends up being a boy. But that's it for this video. My name's James from James Reptiles. Hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, Gmail, Facebook, and like, subscribe, and enjoy this gecko. I can't focus when you're like right there, dude.